Andiamo su Rimbelle.
Places carry a story. They speak of what was, they inspire what could be. The future is shaped by our choices, as it was for Don Bosco. Easy to say, but not so easy to understand, trust, and abandon ourselves to this process. When we choose to be still and lower our defenses, our minds open and we become more receptive. When we are silent, then we can hear the gentle voice of God.
At the age of 9, I had a dream. All my life, this remained deeply impressed on my mind. In this dream, I seemed to be near my home in a very large yard. A crowd of children were playing there. Some were laughing, some were playing games, and quite a few were swearing.
It's my fault. He has nothing to do with it. If I didn't do. I'm the one who makes him like this. I should be more like he would like. He loves me. He always tells me. And he always apologizes. He loves me. I force him to be what he's not. He loves me. I must change. He loves me.
Nel sogno dei 9 anni di Don Bosco,
in Don Bosco's dream when he was 9, the boys were extraordinarily real. They are the boys we've met over the last 200 years and will still meet. They have stories. They have problems. They are a bunch of contradictions.
In his dream, young John is called to a daunting mission, to confront the serious challenges faced by his peers. Likewise, our dream calls us to confront the problems that challenge young people today.
That not by blows in the dream challenges us and makes it even more necessary to go out and meet boys and girls. We must stand by them, because hatred and violence continue to increase. Our world is becoming more and more violent, and we educators must be an alternative.
Dobbiamo essere un'alternativa.
Every day, young people face so many forms of violence. Cyberbullying, for example, which pushes teenagers to the limits, reducing life to a virtual game. But in real life, there is no reset function after the game has ended. And then there's verbal violence, hurled against those who are different, who do not reflect certain standards of beauty, who have physical challenges or a different skin color.
Noi, come famiglia salesiana,
We, as a Salesian family, are called upon to intervene. God calls us and gives us the teacher to do so. A mother who takes us by the hand and tells us, "Look,
guarda.
That was not love. All this around me is love. I have to love myself more.
Noi, come famiglia salesiana, dobbiamo saper guardare.
we, as the Salesian family, must know how to look, like John. When we fail to see the situations experienced by young people, even the most peaceful ones, those who do not seem to have problems, but who face every day with the difficulty of making their dreams come true. And again, when we do not see them for what they are, whether in their most authentic and beautiful form, or in their most tragic and painful one. In all these situations, we are not answering the call. After 200 years, in our time, in our dream, we must look to build eternity.
Addictions trigger a vortex from which there is no escape. Addictions trigger a vortex from which Addictions trigger a vortex from which there is no escape. Addictions trigger a vortex. Addictions trigger a vortex from which there is no escape. From which there is no escape. Addictions trigger a vortex from which there is no escape. Addictions trigger a vortex from which there is no escape. Addictions trigger a vortex. Addictions trigger a vortex from which there is no escape.
Stop.
Impara.
Learn. This is the second verb that the teacher in the dream tells us. We must study, try to understand, learn. In this way, we will become humble, strong, and energetic to face all the difficulties of life. To learn is to be strong, but we are not talking about physical strength. It is a strength that is resilience. In other words, the ability not to be discouraged, not to let our arms down as a sign that nothing can be done. Learning means not only studying the evil of our time, but also learning a method to educate. And the method is all in the 9-year-old's dream: goodness, respect, and patience.
pazienza. Non poche volte I giovani
Young people are often influenced by the dreams of others, which often become their nightmares, of parents, friends, or the conditioning of society. In them, this provokes a sense of mistrust that blocks them. They do not talk about it with anyone, and even if they do not fall into addiction, they live without dreams, convinced that they are never enough, that in this society, to get ahead, you have to compromise, that the future does not exist. Only the present exists. That is why it is necessary to explore their dreams with the young people themselves, in the knowledge that for each one, God has a dream, a project designed, tailor-made for us by God Himself.
Life has a purpose. I have a purpose. My story is a dream that I want to realize. Help me to realize it. Oh God, tell me, what is your great dream for me?
Scegliere,
Choosing,
sognare,
dreaming,
decidere
and deciding.
sono tutte cose che
These are all things that involve taking responsibility.
E tutto questo fa paura.
And all of this is frightening. But among the most recurring expressions within the biblical texts, there is definitely, do not be afraid. God tells us, do not be afraid. John Paul II used to repeat to his young people, do not be afraid. And I say to you, young man, don't feel inadequate. This is your dream.
Tuo sogno.
Poverty creates dreams we are enslaved to. What seems like a dream is not always a dream. What seems like a dream is not always a dream. What seems like a dream is not always a dream. What seems like a dream is not always a dream. What seems like a dream is not always a dream. What seems like a dream is not always a dream. What seems like a dream is not always a dream.
The last thing the teacher tells us is be patient. Give everything time. Give God time. You can, with your choices, direct, guide, and influence. But it is God who does everything. The expression, make yourself humble, strong and energetic, to which we have already referred, also serves to overcome the temptation to easily abandon our call or passively wait for everything to happen. This danger must be warded off with fortitude and disarmed with the humility of those who are aware of their limitations, but also know that they can count on God's constant presence.
Our age is scarred by deep social wounds, but let's not have any illusions. It was not so much different in Don Bosco's time. Yesterday, poverty drove young people to steal. Today, it drives them to deal. Yesterday, they wielded knives. Today, it's guns. Faced with this reality, what is our response? We can and we must learn from Don Bosco. Like him, we must stand with young people, side by side, offering healthy alternatives, empowering them to make brave choices. Let us unmask the nightmares masquerading as dreams. God still speaks to the young in so many ways. God still does great things with simple instruments, through His Word, welcomed in faith, understood with love, internalized with patience, and followed in trust.
Possiamo affrontare tutto?
We can face everything, just as Don Bosco did, step by step, with trust and hope in the risen Lord and in Mary, help of Christians. We are not alone. We will never be alone, because we need others to build ourselves and our dream. Let us trust and entrust ourselves. Let us find our teacher.
This is your mission. This is your mission. This is your mission. This is your mission. This is your mission.
Ora
Everything is clear to me now.
The dream does not end. The future does not end. Yesterday's dream, today's dream, eternity's dream. All our dreams will be God's dream. Together, our mission starts here. This is your mission.
è ora di andare.
It is time to go. It is time to dream, to transform the world, starting with the young. It is time to build eternity.
A dream that makes you dream, in time, in eternity.
È vero che sarà l'ultima, Un po' di nostalgia, perché tante cose sono già le ultime. Ciao ragazzo!